More than 50 years after America became independent, the country was still evolving and gaining more land. One of the main industries that boomed in the 1800s was slavery. Soon, slaves used to start to lose it and run away from their owners, usually taking the Underground Railroad to go north and reach Canada. Senator Robert Clay proposed an idea in a convention which became a part of the Compromise of 1850. It was called the Fugitive Slave Act. The act allowed slave agents and common citizens to catch runaway slaves and present them in front of a commissioner. What's more is that a fugitive slave could not testify in their own trial. Also, if you are found caught helping a fugitive slave escape the country, you would be fined $1,000 or jailed for 6 months. The commissioners used to be bribed $10 if they returned the slave to the slave owner. Those who released this fugitive slave would get $5 for their services. 343 fugitive slaves were captured in the first decade. Only 11 were freed.
I try to tell him not to be afraid, to keep hope and stay in the forests, and we will reach the new land.
The Northerners were all against the Fugitive Slave Act. Sometimes abolitionists helped fugitive slaves escape to Canada by hiding them in their house. If any man approaches that house in search of a slave, I care not who he may be. If he crosses the threshold of my door, and I do not lay him a lifeless corpse at my feet, I hope that the grave may refuse my body a resting place, and righteous heaven my spirit a home. The Fugitive Slave Act is a lot like present-day human trafficking between Mexico and the United States. Hundreds of Mexicans are lured by the false hope of going and getting good jobs in the United States, only to be led into a barren house and used as slaves. Usually, if they try to escape, the traffickers beat them down or kill them, thus making it a lot like the Fugitive Slave Act. The Northerners usually didn't resort to violence to protest against the Fugitive Slave Act, but there were some exceptions. In general, Northerners resisted the Fugitive Slave Act without resorting to violence, but blood was spilled on several occasions. The Fugitive Slave Act was only abolished when the Emancipation Proclamation came into effect. At that time, all slaves were freed. The Emancipation Proclamation gave a brilliant opportunity for African Americans, but also brought a burden for them at the same time. That showed the ups and downs of being free. All in all, the Fugitive Slave Act was a big failure. Not many people were caught, and it created a bigger rift in between the country. Now I hope you have a clear view of what the Fugitive Slave Act is. Thank you for watching.